As a New Yorker, I am surrounded by members clubs. They are slowly and kind of secretly taking over this certain section of New York nightlife and dining.
Yeah.
Clubs are out, members clubs are in. I find the people who go to these places fascinating, and I just always want to know more about them.
I mean, some of them have to be fun if people are paying so much money to go there. But I know intrinsically that I get icked out by the idea of them. I know that.
What's the idea?
The idea is you're going to pay a fee of at least a couple hundred, if not a couple thousand, if not a couple tens of $1,000s to join this place that maybe they have amenities, but it's kind of just like a restaurant that only rich people are allowed to go to?
Welcome. This is Restaurant People, the show for people who eat at restaurants sometimes, from Infatuation.
Hi, I'm Hannah Albertine, senior editor at Infatuation, and a member of the Bryan Kim fan club.
I'm Bryan Kim, editorial lead for Infatuation in New York City, and I'm a member of the New York Public Library.
Today on Restaurant People, we're talking about membership clubs. What are they? Who are the members? What are the fees? And is it worth it? Is exclusivity a passing fad or the future of dining?
First, we'll take a deep dive into the hottest membership clubs right now. Then we'll talk to a member of one of the hottest and hardest to get into clubs in New York City and find out if becoming a member has lived up to the hype.
Finally, we'll talk about our personal experiences touring and eating at a few of these clubs and give you our honest reviews.
For those of you who don't know anything about membership clubs, this is an episode for you.
Or if you know so much about them and you want to fact check us and get mad at us and yell in the comments, welcome.
Or just disagree with our opinions
on
membership
too.
Clubs that we now have.
But
we do have strong opinions.
We do have strong opinions.
With that, let's get into it.
Members clubs, they're too elusive, they're too secretive, and we did a lot of research into what they are, why people are going, whether they're worth it.
Why can't you take pictures in any of them?
Seems so strange.
Very shady. I know you've been studying membership clubs and the history of membership clubs and different clubs around the world. What can you tell me?
So, membership club culture is like originally rooted in London. So we're talking like gentlemen's clubs where aristocrats could drink and be merry without the eyes and ears of like the commoners. And this is back in the 1600s and the 1700s. Some of them still exist. And in a lot of cases, you have to be recommended by someone who's a member and then a second person who's a member. So it's really at least started as a if you know, you know, not quite like royal level, but the level down of wealthy elite people in cities. And still today, they're kind of like country clubs in the city. And America has lots of old members clubs still. Mm-hmm. You know, have you heard about any of the old New York clubs before?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see, New York, we have the Union Club. Union Club's one that is still around today. Do you know when it opened?
I assume during the Civil War.
Before, 1836.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But then, and then we had kind of the Harmony Club, which was founded in 1852, but then the Union League Club, 1863. Do you know how the Union League Club came about?
They were Abraham Lincoln's groupies?
Yeah, pretty much. They were like, hey, what's with all these Confederates in the Union Club? We're going to start our own club.
Women and black people were not let into these clubs until 70s and 80s. So that's what we're dealing with. Yeah. Oh, one of the old London clubs was called White's, which I think tells you everything you should know.
White's, that's horifying. You should see the membership list and like a list of previous members at the Knickerbocker Club. Like it's all Count, Baron, Calvin Coolidge, Franklin Roosevelt.
Oh, Calvy Cool?
One of my note here says, don't even have a website. So
really?
That's how fancy you are.
Wow.
You know, if you don't even have a website,
you
have no worries about membership or membership fees.
Wow, and people get mad about restaurants without phones.
Hot stuff.
This is a membership club without a website.
Don't have a website. Count Florian Henkel von Donnersmarck.
Oh, sure.
Of the Austro-German noble family, the Henkel von Donnersmarcks.
Oh, no.
Was a member there.
They would not like
maybe,
either
actually
of us.
Is currently a member there, maybe.
Oh, my God.
This is according to Wikipedia, by the way.
Your favorite
Publicly available information.
So that's one kind of club. Old school university clubs. There are sports clubs, of course. And then there's like this contemporary contingent of members clubs Are those similar to the old school clubs in your opinion? Like break down the sort of difference there.
The new ones are definitely, I think, more dining focused.
Yeah.
People, they're more foodies nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody cares about food. They go to a restaurant.
Really.
ZZ's Club from the Major Food Group. There's the Ned in Nomad. There's the 22. Not that people didn't care about good food back in the day. I think that still was a big part of some of these clubs.
Yes. For example, there's a place in London called the National Liberals Club. And our editorial lead, Jake, knows a lot about these clubs, and he sort of gave me the scoop. So this National Liberals Club has a restaurant where they serve this like 3-course menu for £45, where the second course you eat grilled calf's liver with creamed potatoes. And the first course is like a summer pea arancini with a lemon gel. And the wines are being paired. They're like New Zealand wines, all of them, which is ridiculous. And then I asked, Jake about, I said, the price seems pretty reasonable, £45 for lunch, 3 courses. And he said, yeah, it's less about the price and more about how incinerated the meal will be. So old school clubs doesn't seem like food is the main draw, or even restaurants and dining. But these newer clubs, some of them are basically supper clubs. And I think the way that I think about our current clubs, you have 2 categories. One is like lifestyle, convenience, one-stop shop. A Soho House is an example. And some, like a place called Casa Cipriani in New York, has, in addition to clubs, bars, restaurants, they have a gym, they have a spa, they have a place where you can co-work, a place where you can get coffee meetings. That's one kind of members club. But then you have a place like Chez Margaux, which doesn't have any amenities aside from eating and drinking, basically.
Yeah, those seem to be like kind of the hotter ones nowadays. You do have ones opening up with workspaces, but there is definitely this restaurant arms race happening with a lot of these clubs. But Chez Margaux, ZZ's, Casa Cipriani.
All have this like associated restaurant figure. You have Jean-Georges is doing the food at Chez Margaux. In New York, ZZ's Club, which is run by Major Food Group, they, in addition to the world's first and only private carbone, that's the language they use on their website, which I think is so funny.
Private carbone.
World's first private carbone. They have a Japanese restaurant. They have a cigar lounge. They have a glamorous lounge showcasing a range of music programming. That's a quote. And it's in Hudson Yards.
I want to join ZZ's Club, say, how much am I going to have to pay?
Well, Bryan, it depends. Do you want to join as an individual member?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you are looking at, for the New York club, a $20,000 initiation fee, and then every year you got to pay $10K.
That is nuts.
It's
but
nuts.
Then, so what if I wanted to join with my spouse?
Yeah, you would just be looking at a cool $30,000 initiation and still $10K a year.
Okay, so best case scenario, I'm paying $30K to join this club. In large part because it has a private carbone. Why wouldn't you just find the carbone door person and give them $1,000?
Way cheaper way. That's a way cheaper method.
Let me in whenever.
Yeah.
Just give me a ring when reservations open up. $1,000.
I think people they'd still say no though, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because they're getting people to pay $30K.
All right, well this is $30K, so then $10K. $10K to the carbone host.
But at that point you might as well just join a different club.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of different clubs, if you cannot afford ZZ's, if you can't afford the $30K, don't worry, Casa Cipriani's gotcha.
Oh yeah, how much does that cost? And what is that place?
So Casa Cipriani is part of the Cipriani groups, and it is their private club in the Seaport area. Downtown Manhattan, Fidei, all the way at the bottom where the ferries are.
It's a stone's throw from the Staten Island Ferry. Not a lot of overlap though, I think, between Staten Island Ferry riders and Casa Cipriani.
You never know.
I never know.
You never know, but probably not. If you want to join Casa Cipriani and explore the clubhouse and hotel with lacquered mahogany walls and Loro Piana fabric on the walls,
my God.
Then you will have to pay $3,900 annual fee.
Okay.
Plus a one-time initiation fee of $2,000. That's just for a standard membership.
Okay.
So that's going to run you $5,900 total, right? Including the initiation.
Well, that's a lot cheaper than ZZ's.
As with many of these clubs, it's a little bit cheaper if you're under 30.
Right.
But yes, it is a lot cheaper than ZZ's.
Someone who I talked to who works in hospitality partnerships said that Zero Bond is the club with the strongest masculine energy in New York City. She says the food kind of sucks. There's like a sushi restaurant. There's this like one iconic chocolate chip cookie that people seem to be very excited about.
I mean, their fee's just about the same as the others. It is $3,850 per year and a $1,000 initiation fee. So $4,850 is what you're going to have to pony up for zero bond currently, unless you're over 45, in which case it gets a little more expensive.
Oh. You know, from what I've heard, this person says that they throw good parties. You know, if you want to go to a Halloween party, if you want to go to a derby party, I don't know exactly what that means, or a New Year's Eve party, they throw good parties. So it sounds like the best way to go to Zero Bond is to be a guest rather than pay for it.
Yeah, that might secretly be the best way to enjoy all of these clubs.
These clubs, for sure.
But it's not just a New York City thing.
No.
There are private clubs opening around the country.
That's right.
Is there anything you can tell me about those, Hannah?
I'll go back to London for a second. In London, there's this place called the Groucho. And when I asked Jake, our editorial lead in London, if the food was good there, he said, honey, you don't eat at the Groucho. It's a strict drinking and snorting zone. But there is food. There's also a place called Annabelle's in London, which Jake says is for questionable celebs and disgraced politicians.
Oh, interesting.
Which would you rather hang out at?
I guess Annabelle's?
Yeah, I'd rather eat.
Or maybe Groucho's? Yeah. Okay, well, what else you got for me?
Okay, well, in LA is where San Vicente Bungalows began.
San Vicente Bungalows, also known as SVB.
Yeah, in the biz, people call it SVB.
Started in LA, just opened an outpost in New York City in the meatpacking district.
West Village.
Meatpacking.
West Village.
Oh, you're right. It's a Jane Hotel. Yeah, you're right. Hannah's right.
In LA, the San Vicente Bungalows, there's two. There's one in West Hollywood, and then there's a newer one in Santa Monica. The one in West Hollywood, someone who works in real estate told me it used to be like a CNBC kind of crowd. It's maybe come down a little bit. Now it's more like where you're going to have a private dinner. It never really turns up. It's never really a vibe. People sort of do business there. So the people I talk to in LA don't seem actually that hot on SVB. What is hot in LA is called Bird Streets Club.
Oh, Bird Streets.
You've heard of Bird Streets?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay. You sounded like you were
like
excited
the name,
about it.
though.
Me too. It's in West Hollywood. It's $10,000 per year for a membership for a couple. If you're by yourself and you're under 32, it's $2,500. So, yeah, on par with what we've been talking about. This is run by the Hwood people. There's only one location. It's pretty small. The person I talked to never loved the food. The vibes are sort of like fancy dining room, and then there's a random sushi bar. At all of these clubs, there's always a random sushi bar.
That is such a big theme. The sushi bar is such a big theme.
What's up with that?
All of these clubs.
It's like, doesn't make sense with the theme, but we'll just throw it in. Throw in the sushi bar.
It makes sense.
Bring in the dancing lobsters. Bird Streets Club in West Hollywood, you know, like real celebrities go, like actual celebrities, you know, Keanu Reeves, Jodie Foster.
Oh, actual celebrities.
Olivia
Keanu Reeves and Jodie Foster. The first people I think of when I think actual celebrities. I'm like, where are all the actual celebrities? Where's Keanu Reeves? Where's Jodie? Where's the person from The Silence of the Lambs?
You're making
These
me
are all
snot.
fake celebrities.
You're saying Jodie Foster's
Where's
a
Jodie
fake
Foster, the director of The Beaver? Didn't she direct The Beaver?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. You're always trying to get movie references in this podcast. We work for a restaurant company, not a movie company.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, go on. So actual celebrities like Jodie Foster, Keanu Reeves.
Jodie Foster, Keanu Reeves, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo. Leo D had his birthday party there.
Oh.
What separates this, according to my friend who works in entertainment, they said the food is actually good. And people seem to really, like, know each other. Like, they're getting up, they're saying hi to other tables. Like, it's friendlier than some other clubs. And then, of course, there's Soho House, which Soho House is all across the country. It's in a weird, it's been, every single person I talk to across the country, no matter where they are, they said the service at Soho House is abysmal. Mm-hmm. Awful, terrible. People will ignore you. You'll be just left alone for hours. There's no one working there. It's a disaster. I think Soho House, they were private, then they went public. I don't know.
I don't really know what happened with Soho House, but that is the great uniter of all the people who belong to these other membership clubs. Everyone loves talking trash about Soho House.
It's true.
So we didn't just talk to members of these clubs. We actually went to a few of these clubs ourselves. Hannah, you want to tell us about some of your experiences?
Yeah, I would love to.
Take us through it.
Need help figuring out where to eat this weekend? Or just where to be a regular and be kind to your bartenders? Check out our incredible reviews and guides on theinfatuation.com and at Infatuation on Instagram and at TheInfatuation on TikTok. I was a guest at the 22, which is a New York City private club that's been open maybe a little less than a year, maybe around a year.
Mm-hmm.
I went there on a Thursday night. So it's the summer right now, so I was warned that it might be a little dead. And it was indeed quite dead. We had drinks in this sort of like loungy area that I'm going to describe as like if you went to a university and your dad gave a lot of money to that university, the dean would probably call you into this kind of loungy looking place and they'd pat you on the back and say, "Good job, son. Keep it up." And so there's like stained glass, there's a big fireplace, there's like gold coasters that say club.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I saw people holding Trader Joe's bags. I saw people sort of dishing about, like women with like platinum blonde hair and very like defined biceps were talking about a date that someone went on with a finance guy who's really into kites.
Kites?
Yeah.
Like the
Flying
regular
kites.
old kites? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they like luxury kites? Is this like some world we don't know about?
I
luxury
don't know,
kites?
and I'm really interested in
Luxury
finding out.
competition kite flying?
That's the next episode that I want to do is kites.
Okay.
And then in the dining room, me and this person, we were like one of two parties. So it was really empty. And the food is, I guess, crowd pleasing. You know, I ate like a too thick veal parm. They had this $115 you spaghetti. It's not called that, but that's what I call it.
$150?
Yeah,
Lobster?
$150. No, it comes with
my
spaghetti,
God.
chives, and caviar. You know, I drank white burgundy.
Oh.
And also there are Basquiats in the hall that are on loan from a friend of the owner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the 22 is one of the clubs that falls into the like convenience lifestyle buckets. I think that it probably wants to be more of a nightlife place, but so far it does not feel that way. You're basically paying for access to that like university club feeling lounge, and also you can get priority reservations at the restaurant in the bottom, which is called Cafe Zafri.
It's also not hard to get in there.
The price is not nearly as high as a place like ZZ's.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the 22, hot or not?
Not.
Not. Wow.
And you went to Casa Cipriani recently, didn't you?
I did go to Casa Cipriani, yeah. So I was actually there at a slow time too.
Okay.
But also, who goes to a club at 5 p.m.? What I can tell you about Casa Cipriani is that it is beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes it beautiful?
I believe I mentioned the lacquered mahogany walls already, but it's the whole place is just kind of built out to look like a yacht.
Okay.
Right? And that's the thing, because these people are used to being on yachts. You want to keep them comfortable. Okay? If they feel like they're not on a yacht, they might get scared.
Right.
So.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So they've got this just luxurious setup. I only explored one floor, but it kind of had a loungy cafe on one side.
Yeah.
I sat on a couch. I ate a prosciutto tower.
Oh, what's a prosciutto tower?
It's kind of like a tiered structure with prosciutto falling off of it.
Okay.
It was delicious.
That sounds good. Oh, delicious. You said the D word.
It was really good. Guess what else I had?
What?
Shrimp cocktail.
Oh.
Also incredible. So Casa Cipriani had very good food, very comfortable couches. They had a jazz room in the middle. They poked my head inside of the jazz room.
Yeah.
Looked very nice. No jazz was happening. It was 5 p.m. Well, they had incredible views that, honestly, like, it should be illegal to have these views of Brooklyn and just like the Statue of Liberty, because other people should have them too, but only they have them.
Only they have the views.
Yeah, amazing space.
Unless you go on the Staten Island ferry.
No, even then you don't have
it's
that
further
view.
over,
It's more elevated.
Yeah.
It's on like the 5th floor of this building, I want to say.
So, Casa Chips, hot or not?
Casa Chips, medium.
Warm?
I would say medium hot. Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, we both recently went where?
Chez Margaux.
Chez Margaux.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new-ish,
Newish.
opened in the past 2 years, private club in the meatpacking district in Manhattan with a restaurant in the bottom from Jean-Georges.
Yeah.
Immediate impressions?
I had heard a lot about Chez Margaux before I went there. And the thing that I heard the most was it's like this sexy red basement with vaulted ceilings, and it feels cool. That's the word people keep using, cool, which, like, I don't actually know what cool is, to be honest. Do you have a definition for cool?
Cool. Cool is... No, I don't know. I got nothing.
I don't either.
I got nothing either.
And I walk in, the immediate thing I notice is, despite the temperature of 92 degrees, there is a fire in the fireplace.
Oh.
In the entryway. Luxury. Why not? You have to line up if you're a guest, and you have to be sent a guest pass on your phone. You scan a QR code like a jerk, and then they say, oh, your host is downstairs. You may go downstairs. And you walk down the staircase. It's very dark, and there are the members who don't have to check in. They just walk right past you, and you know, for a second I was like, dang, that's pretty nice. They just walk right in. I'm dirt. I have to wait on this staircase like a chump. Exactly. What were your first impressions?
I think before Chez Margaux even opened, I had kind of researched it a little bit for the infatuation. I was just kind of looking into the opening. I might have even written a little openings blurb about it in our openings guide. So I actually had a good idea of what to expect from Chez Margaux. And I had talked to some people who had been there.
Jodie Foster?
Jodie Foster, I don't believe so, but who knows? She is everywhere.
She's an actual celebrity.
Yeah, but I would say I liked it more than I thought I would. Ooh. Does that mean I would become a member? No.
Well, what did you like about it?
It was just a very, very well done room. You know, those glossy red ceilings. Yeah. There's leopard print everywhere.
There's like these real books called Chateaubriand.
It's very dark, and also the staff is very nice. And I think that's a big element of these members clubs, is that the staff, all the staff, no matter who you are, they treat you like a VIP. Yes. Everybody there is a VIP.
Yes.
You go to a restaurant in New York City, chances are your servers will treat you nice. They'll treat you nicely.
Yeah.
But you aren't going to be treated like a VIP unless you are an actual VIP at that restaurant.
Right.
So these places are full of these people who are just used to being treated really special.
Well, that's, I think, what bothers me is that you don't have to earn being a VIP by, like, being actually cool or actually interesting or actually kind.
Yeah.
You know, if at a quote-unquote public restaurant, if you have created a bond with the bartender or you're a neighborhood regular, like, to me, you've, like, put in your time. I think in a members club, if everyone's treated like a VIP, no one's actually a VIP.
They just get that fast pass, the VIP fast pass, by throwing money at the club.
That's right. And I agree with you. The service was great. I mean, the Somm, like, absolutely upsold me on wine, and I was really happy about it. Like, we drank delicious stuff.
Yeah, the Somm you were flirting with.
I flirted with the Somm.
Sorry, Erin.
Sorry.
The food. What did you think of the food at Chez Margaux? So the kitchen, it's the menu is from Jean-Georges. Yeah. Or if you don't know who Jean-Georges is, runs a lot of fancy restaurants in New York, such as Jean-Georges, on like the Upper West Side.
Yeah. But also the Fulton. And, you know, the menu was it was a huge menu. And it was like a poo-poo platter of JG hits. You know, there's a cheeseburger with Gruyere from the Fulton. There's a samosa from ABCV. There's something that they call tuna new style, which is like a flat pounded tuna with sesame. And the server said to us before we ordered it, "You've had it at Nobu." Joke's on that server. I've never been to Nobu. You been to Nobu?
I've been to Nobu.
Okay, he's
been to Nobu.
I haven't had that. You know, it's like 7 styles of restaurant, like, on one menu, which is quite jarring, but also makes sense if you think about the draw of Chez Margaux is you can always, you go, you sort of are guaranteeing a table, it's your spot. And maybe you don't want to eat the same exact kind of food every time you go. So it's nice to have, you know, like, a variety of options.
Yeah, there was a ton of stuff on that menu. The thing is, these clubs have to be crowd-pleasing. In order to please the crowd, have to have a lot of options, or at least some inoffensive options. This menu had both. It had a chicken club sandwich, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So surprising.
What else do we get?
We've got this $150, I think it was like a miso encrusted strip
New
steak.
York strip. Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
$148.
We got the tuna. We got a dosa with egg and mint, I want to say.
That dosa was not so great.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't bad.
That was a soggy dosa. It was good because the ingredients of a dosa are good, but the texture was like
It was not
wrong.
very dosa.
Yeah.
We had foie gras terrine, which I really enjoyed.
Me too.
But we only ate half of it.
Yeah. The rolls were great. I know that sounds really boring. They were so hot. They were served so hot. They were really puffy to the touch, but still had that crust.
The roll's so good.
I was expecting the food to be worse.
I wasn't. Jean
You
George.
weren't. I know, but
I've been to a lot of Jean George restaurants. I would say that's probably not one of the best ones.
Okay. Sure.
We spent so much money. How much money did we spend on dinner?
We spent $1,000 on dinner.
$1,000 on dinner.
That's right.
Thanks in part to 6 bottles of sparkling Evian. I believe those cost a total of $60. Thank you. Thank you, The Infatuation, for buying us 6 bottles of sparkling Evian. We apologize for spending $1,000 at Chez Margaux. Don't fire us, please. I went over my budget this month.
Me too. But you're in this big booth for 3.5 hours. It's not like you're worried about the next reservation's here or whatever. We could have kept drinking and hanging out. They're like a plurality of spaces where you can go. There's a room that's entirely leopard print that has elephant tusks in it where they serve sushi.
Yeah.
There's a room where people just drink Japanese whiskey. There's a room behind the nightclub where professional athletes watch television.
All right, Hannah. So what is the verdict here? Chez Margaux, hot or not? On 3. 1, 2, hot.
Hot.
As far as clubs go.
Yeah. I had a great time. I mean, I don't think the people make it cool. I think that restaurant would be cool or cooler if it were open to the public. The space is beautiful.
So that was just our experience as guests of Chez Margaux. But to really get a full picture of the club, we need to talk to a member, and we happen to have an anonymous member of Chez Margaux we can speak to on the ham phone right now.
Jodie Foster?
It's Jodie.
Jodie, is that you?
Would you join a membership club? Let us know in the comments. Oh, is that the ham phone?
It sounds like the ham phone.
Ring, ring. Right now, we have a caller on the ham phone. They are an anonymous member at Private Members Club Chez Margaux, and they have graciously agreed to answer all of our questions about the club.
Caller, are you here?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi. Thanks for joining us.
Happy to talk to you. Thanks for having me on the ham phone.
So, caller, tell us, what motivated you to join Chez Margaux?
I joined early. I was one of the founding members, and last year when it was opening, it was really the hottest thing in town. I think it still is. And you had Taylor Swift going all the time, and, everywhere I went, I just kept hearing about it. It was a place that a lot of my friends were going. It's a place a lot of my friends were talking about, and I decided that I wanted to be a part of it.
Because maybe your friends would like you less if you weren't a member.
My friends would like me less if I wasn't a member. I would not be able to have easy access to it. I don't want to be someone's guest if it's a place I'm going to go all the time.
Ooh, I like that.
Interesting. So what is the experience? Can you describe it for us at Chez Margaux?
It's kind of both a restaurant and a going out spot, a club. And so it depends on the hour what the experience is. You can go for dinner at 7 p.m. and have a relatively quiet dinner. You could stay as the vibe changes over the course of the night into a little bit more of a party, especially if it's a weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. By 10:30, 11, it's full of people.
Have you seen any other celebrities there?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of celebrities there. I've seen J-Lo there. I've seen Jeff Bezos there. I've seen Selena Gomez there. I never saw Taylor Swift there. I've seen the paparazzi pictures, but I've seen a lot of kind of like mega A-list people there.
Is there a dress code at Chez Margaux? And also, How conscious of the dress code are you when you're there?
They ask, of course, no like dirty shoes or gym clothes, flip flops, etc. It's so funny though because I mean, it says no baseball caps and sweatshirts, and for sure, baseball caps and sweatshirts are worn there. When the Knicks are in season, you always see the Knicks there after the games, and I've seen them in sweatpants a lot. Certainly no one's enforcing the dress code on them.
When people ask or you tell people you're a member of Chez Margaux, how do you feel? Do you say it with pride or are you maybe a little embarrassed?
I would say exactly in the middle, neither. I don't bring it up in a situation where I could feel embarrassed. I don't say it with pride. However, there have been situations where I had an out of town business contact from another country who'd heard about it and was dying to go. I was super happy to take him. I don't personally kind of like get off on sharing that. I could imagine being embarrassed by it if it sounds too elitist or too expensive.
Talk to us about the money element. Like, how much are you paying to be a member there?
Well, I was an early member, and I think we had probably a slight discount over what the current rates are now. Well, I wouldn't call it cheap, but definitely relative to the others, I think it's probably on the more affordable end of the spectrum.
Do you think you get your money's worth?
I go a few times a month reliably, like kind of. So I definitely think I'm getting my money's worth. One of the things that I like about it is you just can get a reservation. It's really convenient to have a reservation, and it's kind of like a default place. It's really worth it to me to have that convenience of a place that I know is going to be a great experience, where I know I'm going to have a good time, where I'm going to see people I know, where I'm going to see people I don't know but want to know.
How would you characterize Chez Margaux compared to other clubs that you've either been to in New York or heard about?
To me, Chez Margaux, the best word to describe it, I think, is cool. It just feels very cool. And I'm not saying it feels cool to be a member. What I mean is the crowd feels cool. I look at Chez Margaux as TikTok. It's kind of a little bit of everything. It feels very of the moment. And if you look at something like San Vicente Bungalows, like I think of SVB as Instagram. It's a little more corporate. It feels a little more like Reels, a little more dated, and a little bit more institutional. Uh, and so like it definitely Chez Margaux to me has kind of a young vibe, a cool vibe. It's not all young, by the way, but it feels more fresh, more youthful, more new compared to some of the other places.
Yeah, I wonder, like what is the sort of like next phase of member clubs? There have been more and more that have been opening in New York. Obviously, it's nothing new, but it does feel like there's been a particular explosion in recent history. And I wonder, like, how long will Chez Margaux feel cool?
It's kind of interesting that it took this long for something like an exclusive members dining experience to come to New York. It feels like so made for New York. Obviously, it's more associated with London, but it's crazy that it took so long. I don't see them going away anytime soon, in part because one of the reasons why I think they've taken off is it's so damn hard to get a reservation these days. So I think that people will continue to want and need ways to get access to spaces that are more kind of quote guaranteed or easier than just being part of the general kind of resi pool.
What's next? Do you have any predictions about sort of like the longevity of this or?
I think Chez Margaux, I think it's already lasted with heat longer than many people would have thought. It's hard to keep a hot spot hot. I just haven't yet seen Chez Margaux cool off.
Have you heard
Go
about
ahead.
anybody getting waitlisted or rejected these days?
For sure. I hear a lot of times about people who get turned down or never hear back.
Why do you think they get turned down?
What's the point of a members club if everyone can get in? I mean, I think they have to curate and select people that feel appropriate and on brand and on
Sure.
appropriate for the community.
They wear flip-flops, maybe.
Maybe they wear flip-flops. But flip-flops are back, so I bet flip-flops are actually okay.
Okay.
Okay, so say I want guaranteed membership to Chez Margaux. I want to give myself the best chance. What school do I go to? What job do I get? What neighborhood do I live in? And what's my favorite movie?
Okay. If you want guaranteed access to Chez Margaux, you probably live in the surrounding area, let's say Meatpacking, West Village,
Yeah.
but you're not a West Village girl.
Okay.
Not saying you're not a girl, you're just not a
No,
West Village
for
girl, the
sure.
stereotype
Yeah,
of the New York Magazine piece.
that's right.
You, I mean, you could have gone anywhere. I'm seeing anywhere from University of Miami to Ivy League to kind of drop out, didn't care. Like, I think that if you look at kind of who I think maybe the like stereotypical 20 something member is, I think it's all walks of life from a kind of background standpoint, as long as you have money now and are cool.
Bryan's disqualified because he's not in his 20s.
There's members of all
Yeah.
ages. I think that what was the other question? It was where do I go to
Oh,
school? What do I do for work? I mean, you could work in, um, let's see, you could work in fashion, you could work in kind of anything cultural. You could be, like I said, you could be kind of like a 20 something, 30 something crypto person that no one knows what you do all day.
Okay.
Gold Rush pioneer.
Gold Rush pioneer. Um,
Oh, favorite movie was the last
Oh yeah,
question.
what should my favorite movie be? If that's too tough, what am I watching on Netflix or HBO right now?
I'm getting you loved Honora.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You loved Honora, and you might, for all I know, you're watching like a free diving documentary on Netflix. Like kind of like you could be, it's really kind of, I would say maybe a polymath.
Caller, I have a theory brewing,
Okay.
and I'm wondering if you ever wait in lines.
At restaurants, you mean?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you ever wait in line at bakeries or to put your name down in a restaurant. You ever find yourself on a sidewalk? Are you
I
a line
have
person?
been at Lucali.
Okay.
I have done that. And then while I was at Lucali, I learned about line sitters.
Yeah.
Same. That's where I learned about them.
Have you ever used that before?
I sent a line sitter to Ceres recently.
Wow.
Ceres Pizza in what is that? Little Italy?
I
Like
guess
a hot
Little
new pizza
Italy.
place.
Do you how much did you pay for that?
I don't want to talk about that. It was
It was
so
a lot.
bad.
I bet it was so much.
You're anonymous. You can talk about it. It's a
Caller.
safe space, caller.
Well, to be honest, the line sitting fee wasn't that absurd.
Okay.
It is absurd in practice. I ended up paying like I think like $180 for two pizzas.
I love that.
I think that if the pizzas weren't like $40 each, it wouldn't have felt as absurd. But the bill got higher than I was expecting.
Yeah, just for full context, Ceres Pizza is one of the more expensive like pizza places, takeout pizza places in the city. I personally paid like $70 for a pie there.
Okay.
So
For a
$180.
pie?
Yeah,
$70 for a pie.
yeah, it was really good. I'm sorry.
What was on it?
Yeah, what makes it $70?
The Nduja.
Oh.
There was like so much, and it cost so much. And then like an aged balsamic, they put like $9 of an aged balsamic on. I was talking to the owners, and they said that aged balsamic cost $9 just what's on the
Okay,
pizza.
we're still thinking
Something
about
like that.
$61 left after that.
Yeah, well, he said two pie.
The base plane was 40, I think.
What are they putting on this pizza?
Ceres should be a members club.
Oh my god, I love
Ceres
that.
should be a members club.
So caller, you seem pretty hype on Chez Margaux. Frankly, I'm kind of hype on Chez Margaux, which I'm a little embarrassed by. But are there any cons to Chez Margaux, or are there cons to the larger member club universe?
The biggest con to Chez Margaux is how crowded it is. There are nights where you can't move in the bar area. And that's cute if you're younger, maybe. It's less cute the older you get. Uh, but I think one of the cons that I would say about the broader members club experience, and I think it's really important. I think some members clubs make a really bad experience for their guests of members. And so that's kind of something that I think a lot about. If I were in charge, I would make sure that non-members who are invited guests of members feel really welcome. I think that's one of the reasons that I hate SVB. Like, don't put a sticker on my phone. I'm not an animal. I went to dinner there and sat down at the table before my host arrived, and they wouldn't let me order a drink. And it's just like, don't sit me at the table.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be here. Like, they made me feel worse.
Hmm.
And I get the idea of prioritizing the member experience, but I think it's really important to also make your members' guests feel welcome.
Well, caller, this has been very enlightening and fun. And yeah, I want to thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. I would love to refer you, Hannah, to Chez Margaux anytime.
Did you see caller said Hannah?
What about me?
Not Brian.
Come on.
Hannah said she wanted in.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm too
I
proud.
said I was annoyed at how much I liked it.
You're too cool for Chez Margaux.
I know. I wish I wasn't.
Thanks, caller. Talk
Thank
to
you so
later.
much.
If you like this episode, please make sure to like and subscribe to Restaurant People on YouTube and all of your preferred podcast platforms.
In terms of clubs, Chez Margaux is probably one of the better ones. That said, I do not fully condone Chez Margaux. I'm not telling my friends to go sign up and become a member of Chez Margaux. I'm not signing up for Chez Margaux, but
No.
I had a very nice time.
I don't know how long that can last in terms of its hotness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about it. I think it's interesting that our caller mentioned not wanting to play the sort of reservation mania game. You know, they are almost willing to pay the premiums of club membership so that they don't have to stress about where am I going to dinner tonight.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that from other people too.
Yeah.
So do you think that's kind of impacting restaurants at all? The proliferation of these clubs, are they taking business away from non-gated restaurants in New York City and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, I think objectively these private clubs, if they're attracting repeat guests, are taking away business from non-gated restaurants. But also, we all know that, like, the coolest restaurants are going to always be non-gated. So it's not like members are never going to go to non-gated restaurants. I'm really interested in this idea of what is the difference between a restaurant in a private members club and a sort of ungated public restaurant. And I wanted to hear from someone who's worked back of house at a private club. So I tracked down an anonymous pastry chef of a private club in Philly. And I talked to them about their experience. And when I was talking to this person, they told me in their time at the club, this is their 5th executive chef that they've been through. It's in only a couple of years. And so I think what happens is the chef comes in and they're like, oh my God, what a cushy job with my salary and benefits. And it's just going to be like a country club, but smaller. Like, I can put whatever I want on the menu. And the reality is, like, people are really opinionated and they're giving their feedback directly and expect to be accommodated.
But yeah, it's like having a restaurant full of annoying VIPs.
Yes.
Oh my God.
There is one high-profile member at this club in Philly, and apparently whenever he comes to dinner, he will order a grilled chicken parm, and the kitchen has to make it for him. There's no grilled chicken parm on the menu. There's not even a chicken parm on the menu. And apparently he doesn't want anything like fried or breaded. So they will grill a paillard, put pizza sauce and cheese on it, bake it in the oven, and send it out with whatever side he wants. But because he donated so much money to the club, there's like no leeway. And so like in private clubs, you don't have to behave well. Mm-hmm. No, there's no public shaming about like you're being an asshole to the server, or you can't, you can demand whatever you want. And I guess when you reach a certain point of wealth, like maybe that's just what happens. But frankly, like a couple $1,000 to me you're not like the richest person in the world. Like, how dare you tell them you want a special off menu thing? Like, that's insane.
It sounds pretty spot on for the people who go to these places, though.
Totally.
Just the level of entitlement, and also like, it's not that. It's partially the club's fault. It's the monster they've created with this whole everyone's a VIP culture, and then also making everyone pay double for their meal. You're paying an initiation, you're paying a membership fee, and then you're paying for the food. What do you expect from these people? It better be good.
That's right. I mean, I see both sides. You know, if you are paying money to be somewhere, you want to be treated well.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I can't wrap my head around, like, just go to a restaurant and, like, be nice and like ask the server how their day was, and, like, you'll probably be treated well. Do you know what I mean?
You love doing that. Yeah,
I
you're always talking to servers. Every time we go to a restaurant, I have to listen to you try to become best friends with the server.
Yeah, and I become best friends.
Yeah, I know.
It's nice.
It is nice.
And I get treated really well.
I think that's a big reason why people go to these places.
Yeah.
To get that special treatment, to feel special. People want to feel special.
That's right.
But ultimately, I don't really think these places are in competition with New York City restaurants. I think they're more filling a void left by the departure of nightclubs.
Yes.
So after the pandemic, and during the pandemic, so many of these New York City nightclubs closed. Cielo, One Oak, Tenjune, I think was before.
Mm-hmm.
These are just like meatpacking ones I'm talking about. Avenue, the Jane Hotel Ballroom where I had my 22nd birthday. These are literally all like in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's a neighborhood where a lot of these clubs are opening up, like Crane Club, like SVB, like Chez Margaux.
Yeah.
Right? So there's this void that's being filled. And some people who used to go to these clubs, or people who would have gone to these clubs, are now going to members clubs. Others, I think, are going to these EDM venues nowadays.
Like in Bushwick and Ridgewood.
Yeah, like Brooklyn Storehouse.
Yeah.
And
yeah. That's a real
Knockdown
place,
Center.
Brooklyn Storehouse?
Brooklyn Storehouse.
It sounds like you just made that up.
I could have.
Okay.
I don't know. There's also...
I think that's totally right. I think it's more indicative of people wanting a place to hang out all night and ordering fancy drinks and mingling with others who are in their tax bracket and maybe they're going to mate with and procreate with.
Yeah.
It's sort of like live Raya is my impression.
For
of
sure.
All of these. I heard from someone who she's not a member of Casa Cipriani, but she went there for an event and was talking to some of the members afterwards. And she said that this was like women who were all in their 20s, someone who worked in social media, someone who worked for like Walmart HQ. And this Walmart HQ person was reverse commuting, so living in New York in an apartment without a window and reverse commuting to New Jersey to Walmart HQ, which is in New Jersey. And my friend asked this Walmart HQ person, why do you live in an apartment without a window and pay thousands of dollars to be a member at Casa Cipriani? And this person said, well, this is just how I calculate the New York life that I want to have. I would rather pay more money to belong to Casa Cipriani than pay more money for an apartment that I'm not spending much time in.
That is unbelievable. It's also unbelievable that an apartment without a window is legal in New York City.
Totally.
Next week, we'll be talking about apartments without windows, legal
Tune in
or
next time.
illegal.
I mean, in some ways, it's sort of smart. I mean, if you want this to be your life and you're choosing to spend most of your time at Casa Cipriani, sure.
Yeah, it's like this illusion of a better life.
Yeah, that's right.
You go there, like your life isn't outside of Casa Cipriani. You just kind of like ignore all of that. You black all of it out.
Yeah.
You try to forget it.
Yeah.
And then you live at Casa Chips.
know.
That's what I call it now, Casa Chips.
Chips. These clubs are filling some sort of like psychological, sociological need to feel important, to be seen, to be associated with celebrities, something. Because people clearly are like spending a lot of money to be there, or in some cases choosing to live in a windowless room so they can be a member. I want to talk to that girl. I want to sit her down, shake her by the shoulders.
Yeah.
I want to talk to her parents.
Yeah, we need to find her parents and tell them that their daughter is living in a cave, just so she can go to Casa Chips, which serves the same food as Cipriani.
Don't live like this. You could go to the restaurant.
All for a view of the Staten Island Ferry. You could just ride the Staten Island Ferry for free.
That's my favorite private club. It's the Staten Island Ferry.
Yeah. So after our discussion, after looking into all of these clubs, after talking to the anonymous member, after doing a ton of research, has your impression changed of these? Your impression of these membership clubs changed? What are your feelings like now?
Based on our experiences and everything I've heard, I feel even more sure than ever that exclusivity does not equal cool. And money doesn't buy good taste. If you want to be a member of a club, do it. Go for it. But probably you should still go to restaurants that aren't that club because the food is going to be way better. What about you?
And when I started the research for this podcast, and I was looking into all these clubs, and I was amazed by how many clubs there were. And then I actually went to some and toured some and saw what was going on. I think I noticed that a lot of them weren't as busy as I thought they were going to be, or weren't really doing as well. I was expecting something significantly cooler than Soho House from all these new clubs, but they are really just Soho House at the end of the day.
Well, they're all going to turn into Soho House. Like, Chez Margaux is going to be inundated with applications. They're going to have to accept some people, and then it's going to feel, I mean, our caller said it's already feeling sometimes really, really crowded. And so what's next? I don't know.
What happens when people get tired of private clubs? Squid Game.
Private jets.
The Purge. The Purge is the obvious next step.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Everyone goes to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come with me to Kansas City. It's my new private club. It's the whole city. Need help figuring out where to eat this weekend? Or maybe where you can become a regular that's not a membership club?
Check out our incredible reviews and guides on theinfatuation.com and @Infatuation on Instagram and @TheInfatuation on TikTok. I'm Bryan.
I'm Hannah. Thanks for joining us. This was Restaurant People, a show by Infatuation. See you next time.